Just about 8 minutes before the hour of 7 o'clock, welcome back to the Now Morning Show. Now running from Friday 28th to Sunday 30th April, the largest annual literary event in the Anglophone Caribbean, now in its 13th year, returns with a fully in-person program after 3 years of running virtual online festivals because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And if you guessed the NGC Bocas Lit Fest, then you are absolutely correct. And this morning, we're going to be talking to the festival marketing and manager. Of course, that is Miss Arlette Liz Williams, and also the children's programming manager, Melvina Hazard. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Very good. How are you?
Good, not too bad. I know that Arlette is accustomed to the early mornings. How are you making out, Melvina?
I'm good. I'm there. I'm there.
You're there.
Yes, I'm getting there. Yes.
No, I can imagine what is happening in the background in terms of getting everything ready. I mean, we're shy of 1 week away from starting this. Tell us first, Arlette, what has the preparation been like thus far?
The engine room. That is Bocas Lit Fest. Of course, all of my colleagues, team members are very busy. It's meetings, it's double checks, it's branding, it's talking to partners, it's talking to the authors, bringing them in, seeing about volunteers. It's a whole crazy operation that's just, you only seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
Of course, that's why I'm taking many for the team being here, because they all really are working. Sometimes we work straight late hours into the night.
Yeah.
So we're just preparing to give the nation one of the best festivals we've had in a while. We're back. We are excited to be back in person.
Of course.
And there's so much that's happening, and it's free to the public.
Yeah.
So we really are putting out something that we want people to come in, enjoy, partake in, and tell us what's your story.
Well, that's the thing. So before we get to locations and who's coming, tell us about the tagline and why Bocas chose that very interesting tagline for this year's edition.
Well, firstly, we understand, especially coming out of the pandemic, that people have stories to tell. Yeah. And the thing is, we don't want to just say this is just for people who write books. All right, everyone has a story to tell in some way, form, or the other. And when we kind of consider the broad scope of the literary arts and what the festival itself has, which is drama, poetry, stand and deliver, where people could come and just give something that they would have had down in the archives sometime. Of course, we have like the slam, and then we have the children's festival, and then there's art, there's mass, there's moko jumbies, there's extempo, everything that allows us as a Caribbean region and this diaspora to bring our stories out and share it with the nation, have people interact with those stories, and then encourage people to interact with us and tell us what's on their minds. And so what's your story is something that we really are proud of this year, because that's what we want to hear from the nation this time.
One of the exciting things I know that Bocas does, Melvina, is the children's caravan, and of course they as well get to tell their stories. Tell us about that.
Okay, so we've been doing the caravan for the last few Saturdays. Tomorrow we're going up to Matura and Toko, and I'm really excited about that one. And we've been getting some really interesting stories. I mean, those little children are very bright. They're very creative. I mean, very active imagination. So I'm really excited, to see what the outcome is, when we edit these stories and we package and publish them. And so that should be coming out soon.
Yeah. Nice, good, interesting. Now, I know that you have some dates as well in terms of where you're going to next, but is this going to be the last one because the festival is next week? Is tomorrow going to be the last one?
No, the last one will be on the 29th.
Right.
So the caravan always culminates during the festival.
Right, yes.
And it's one of the more popular activities, like oversubscribed. So
nice. And I know that the flyer is on the screen right now. So the festival for children, of course, we're seeing Friday 28th to Sunday 30th as well, because Melvina, during the festival, there are also activities for children. So it's not just the caravan.
Yeah, so there's activities for children and also aspiring and existing writers of children's books. So I just want to emphasize that while it's targeted and it's directly for children in terms of the storytelling and the workshops and the creative sessions, we also have panel discussions and presentations where we want especially people who are interested in writing for children. And again, as Arlette was saying about our theme being what's your story, we want everybody to be able to tell their stories. So one of the panels we have is on writing for children with special needs, because you want to be able to give writers insights into how to consider writing for children with special needs, and also to be able to access children with special needs, for them to be able to tell their stories. So that's very important. Yeah.
Now, I understand that you would have had to register for the sessions on the weekend. For the Port of Spain one that's happening within the festival, do you have to register for that one as well?
Yes.
And is registration still open?
Yes. So registration still is open. We're still having some little tweaks to make to the system, but yeah, so all of the workshops are open for registration, and all of the discussions and presentations are just open. You just come and
you can come and sit in and listen to some fruitful discussion. I'm coming back to you, Arlette, because let's talk about those locations. Tell us about where it's happening and times, because I know times would vary based on the events.
Well,
83.
80 events, 100 participants.
Yes.
If I were to start according to my festival director, we probably need more than 10 minutes. So what we have is the entire program online. All start from 10 a.m. We go wait until like 5:30 on afternoons, and then we have special events that happen in the evening as well. So you can tell the team does have a lot to deal with. But everything is there by the location in our home for the festival, which is the National Library. So we have the old fire station, we have the arcade outside, we have seminar room 1, room 2, different places inside. So there are simultaneous events happening, and then there's the children's festival happening inside of the adult festival. And so you can just look there and decide if you want to come in person. For those who really can't come in person, which is the better option, you can stream online. There will be a number of events that we will be streaming. So if you really can't come, we think you should come, you can look for it online and view the program as well. So, yeah.
Various 80 events, and,
80 events,
and of
100.
course that's going to include people coming from the region, and of course writers and stuff like that. But one of the things I know that also culminates the NGC Bocas Lit Fest is the First Citizens Poetry Slam competition. As I understand, the finalists would have been announced, and I know we're very excited for that, in particular here at TTT, because we have partnered with the NGC Bocas Lit Fest about that. Tell us about it, Arlette.
Well, it's the high energy closing event so the theme for that is also long storytelling. So right now we're inviting people to get to the Village Circle, which is the Central Bank Auditorium, on the 30th at 6:30 p.m. But please reach for 5:30 because let me tell you. And all of the finalists will be there to challenge the defending Grandmaster Storyteller, as we know, is the defending champion Alexandra Stewart, and tickets are only $200. But that is the epitome of the oral application of storytelling, because we have no idea what these poets are going to come with. You know, it's gloves off. They're all vying for $50,000. Courtesy First Citizens. So, I mean, after you have a packed 3 days of events, you can then make your way over to the Central Bank.
And I know that I understand that the finalists would have been announced. Of course, as you mentioned, it would have been Alexandra Stewart that they were going to, but they have to defend. But she has to defend, and they have to come up against her. I know that the list of finalists was on the screen, and there we go. So we have Abdul Majid Abdal Karim. Is it Akil Wallace? Yes, take it away, Alex.
Thomas, Darren Sandy, Dominic Friday, Javon Ford, Kyle Hernandez, Michael Logie, Michelle Henry, Ronaldo Briggs, Ronaldo Mohammed, who am I seeing there? Seth Sylvester, Shakir Gray, and Soleil Labari. And Soleil is the youngest finalist we've had. This is her first Citizens National Poetry Slam.
And she made it to the finals.
16 years old.
Wow.
Coming in strong. We have a few first-timers in there. This is the most amount of defending of finalists we've had. And the most amount of finalists that are now returning to try to topple the defending champion.
Why do you think there was that sort of energy for people to enter this year particularly?
Oh, well, they were craving just having that interaction with the crowd on the whole. That's the vibe of the slam, characterized by the mic and the spotlight. But also, I think $50,000 is really a great incentive.
A great incentive. Let me say no more. Arlette and Melvina, let me thank you ladies so much for coming in this morning. I know that it's back to the engine room to continue preparations. All the best to you with the festival, and continue doing the amazing work that you're doing, and we look forward to see what's happening in year 14.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so thank you so much for that. And of course, that was the Marketing and Media Manager, Miss Arlette Liz Williams, and also the Children's Programming Manager, Melvina Hazard, just talking about the NGC Bocas Lit Fest, and of course, that big event to culminate the festival, the NGC Grand Poetry Slam Competition. You're on the Now Morning Show. We're going to take a break and be right back. Stay with us.